What's good? What's good? Welcome back to Invest and Trade with Jax. Gonna go over Solana, guys. Currently we're sitting at 161. We're up about 0.5 on the day. We're sitting at a market cap of 49.46 billion, 24-hour volume 2.33 billion. So we're gonna start here on the 4-hour time frame. So you can see we broke out of this double bottom and we've rolled back to the level of resistance. So if we can hold about 157 here, then we can bounce back to the upside where you see a back test confirmation. But if we fall back down into the pattern, do watch for a double bottom here, guys, for Sol, where you come down, you create a bottom, you bounce up, you hit resistance, you come down, you create a second bottom, and you break out. If that does play out, guys, I'll quickly give you your breakout target. Still a ways away from that taking place here. But would bring Sol back up to this take profit zone at 188. So we've hit 3 of our buy zones for Sol: 178, 170, and 157. So your average price is sitting at about 168, 169. So do watch for that double bottom here on the 4-hour time frame. If we do come down, I had moved that buy zone up to 141, so you can get some more money into your trade and get ready for the slingshot back up, as I always like to say, because it works in waveforms, guys. You come down, you bounce back up, you come down, you bounce back up. Even if you're in a downtrend, guys, you come down, you bounce up, you come down, you bounce up, you come down, you bounce up, you come down, you bounce up. All right, so let's look at Sol here on the daily time frame. So we broke down from this descending broadening wedge, and you can see if I put this on the 4-hour, we came up and we back tested it as resistance, and we're rolling once again. So do watch for that double bottom. What we want to see is we bounce and we throw back up. We have a throwback up into the pattern here for Sol. We have started to have the bearish cross of the EMAs on the daily time frame, which is a bearish signal, guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this Fibonacci out, and we're going to take our fib here from swing low to swing high. And you can see here on the Fibonacci, we're currently holding the support of the golden ratio. So we want to see this support held, especially the 0.786, because if we do start to lose these levels of support, that's when you're going to come back down to where you started, create a reversal wave. And if you lose a 116, that's when you come all the way back down to the 1.618 at 71. Now, it won't just go like this, guys. It's not just going to go, it doesn't work like that, as I always like to mention in my videos. What will happen is you'll come down, you'll bounce, you'll hit resistance, you'll come down, you'll bounce, you hit resistance, you'll come down, you bounce, you hit resistance, and then you make it all the way down to the 1.618. And if you're dollar cost averaging at oversold levels, selling in profits, dollar cost average, oversold levels, selling profits, right? That's a beautiful thing about this strategy. So do watch this level of support. I'll actually drop it in here. Which is coming in at about 157, which is the golden ratio on our inverse Fibonacci here. Just as if you were to break the golden ratio in an uptrend, you come up, you break 171, and then you start heading up to 190. You break that, you're going to head back up to where you started, and your technical target is all the way up at the 1.618. So it's the exact same thing when you're in a downtrend, guys. If you're reversing the trend, take your Fibonacci, swing low, swing high, you come down, you lose the golden ratio. Let me quickly take this one out. You lose the golden ratio, you come down to the 0.786, and that gives you a higher likelihood you're going to come back down to where you started. If you lose that level of support, just as if you were to break it in an uptrend, higher likelihood you're coming down to the 1.618 extension. All right, guys, so we're holding on right now. We're holding the golden ratio. What we want to see is we hold these levels of support, and we see that bounce back to the upside. We come up and break this high if we are going to see continuation. But of course, if we come down and we lose those levels, we lose this low, you're reversing the trend, and that could be a stronger sign that we're going to go into a bear market. We're still quite oversold here on the daily RSI. So I've been saying this for the last week or so, but the bounce will come. It always does, guys. If we look at Sol here on the weekly, I have been mentioning that bearish divergence on the weekly time frame where we created a higher high and we created a lower high on the RSI. Sometimes these take a while to play out. We could still have another impulsive wave, still make it all the way up to our bull run target of 500, and still be creating lower lows on the RSI, giving us a precursor that we'd be reaching the top for Solana and entering into a bear market. But it seems like the overall market structure is changing. The cycles are becoming longer. Maybe we won't see a blow off top, and maybe our bear markets won't last as long, and the market will begin to stabilize somewhat. It looks like that's what's happening in my opinion. All right, guys, so that's basically it for Sol. We've come all the way down to oversold with our bearish divergence here. So do anticipate a bounce relatively soon. Just as we saw here, we were oversold. We saw a nice bounce. I'll go back to the last time we were oversold on the daily right here. Huge pump to the upside, oversold right here. Huge pump. Like, these aren't small pumps, guys. Even this pump right here. Look at that, guys. About an 80% move for Solana. So do anticipate a bounce relatively soon. We can go a little bit lower here, of course, but we have our buy zones ready to go at 141, 115. Have a buy zone all the way down here at 79. I do not think it would come down to that level. If anything, 114 before seeing a bounce. But if it did come lower, or sorry, 141, we're always prepared, guys, and we're always ready to ride the slingshot back up. So that's it for this one. Shout out to the Discord, over 1,000 members, posting chart patterns, talking all things crypto. And you also have access to the DCA charts for reference at all times. Price of a coffee. You can sign up through the Patreon. All right, much love. Take care.